Good day and welcome to another Top Employer episode. I'm David Rademacher. Over the past few weeks, we have spoken to top employer certified organizations about their achievements and how being certified and following the benchmark as a top employer has changed their work culture. Today's top employer is Absa, who is returning for a second consecutive year. Absa retains their certification in all 5 of their markets, which are South Africa, Zambia, Kenya, Ghana and Botswana. Joining me in studio to explore this in more detail is Jeanette Modise, Absa Group's Chief People Officer. Jeanette, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, straight off the bat, as I said in the intro, this is your second consecutive year being certified as a top employer. In a year's time, what has changed that's different from 2022 or that's complementing your achievement in 2022?
Thank you, Devald. A number of things have changed, and in fact, it's been about just reinforcing some of the good things that we have been doing. This award is more around how we are continuing to enhance and amplify our people practices and to ensure that our culture continues to be a culture where there's a strong sense of belonging. One of the things we've done is we've refreshed our purpose, because our purpose is very important. It's about our reason for existence. And the interesting thing is, when we did this purpose, all our colleagues were involved. So we came up with a purpose that says, we empower Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. This is very powerful because it has brought everyone together, even more than the way we were, because we can see we are all working towards contributing to the future of the continent. Everyone in our organization is contributing in their own way, irrespective of what they are doing. And it's an organization that is really, it's purpose-led, but when you join the organization, or even when you engage with our colleagues, you will have a good sense that this is a trusted organization, reliable people, and we continue to make sure we take care of the interests of our people, our communities, and our partners. We take our commitment to our people very, very seriously, and one of the things that we are doing is to ensure that we continue to invest in the development of our people, including our leaders, because we know that everyone deserves an opportunity to learn, grow, and be in an environment where they can thrive and be their best. And we see this as an opportunity, not just to make it a great place to work, but a great place to inspire others that are considering joining Absa. It's an amazing organization.
You mentioned you still invest in growth development for your employees, which was a major category for you, for Absa last year as well. One of the other categories is that of digital HR. Do you see these categories still integral into your people culture going forward, or do you have new achievements that you can put up there and say, this is what we've done to get us certified for a second year?
Those achievements are still very relevant, because we need to continue to evolve and enforce this culture of learning, which is led by everyone. It's led by every individual in the organization. The other thing we've actually done very well is we work in a flexible and hybrid environment. The understanding of how important it is to take care of the needs of our employees as well as our business is very important. We've seen this is a very critical component of our employee value proposition, and we continuing with it. But the other thing is our leaders are empowered, are enabled to be able to lead and manage teams that are hybrid, teams that are in various geographies, and to engage colleagues we found that it's one of the things we're going to continue with. And once again, the work we've done on the purpose and ensuring that everything that we do contributes to us working together helps us, because what we are doing is building a culture where we can collaborate more, where we can have synergies. And when you do that, you're leveraging on the strengths and the capabilities of other colleagues and other businesses. And it actually says together we are much stronger. So that strengthens our environment. Our people practices, we continue to enhance those. In fact, we have exceeded the benchmark on some of those. And that's why there has been an improvement from last year up to now.
Just talk to me about what you've exceeded on. Was it a specific reward system that you exceeded on, or was it your hybrid work model you exceeded on? What is it you've exceeded on?
It's around the strategy, the culture, and how we develop people. Those are some of the elements that we have exceeded on, because with the top employer, we get the feedback around how we are performing against other organizations, and we strive to improve every time. The HR digital transformation as well is one of those areas where we are going to continue to improve on, because the work environment continues to evolve.
Do you see the value, or how much do you see the value in being audited from an independent firm on your employment culture, and in the hopes to, well, and I suppose striving to reach the benchmark or excel in that benchmark? Absolutely.
I think being audited against a global standard for me says that we comparing ourselves with organizations that are leading, and that creates an opportunity not just to learn but to stretch, and continue to improve. But on the other hand, the top employer audit, what I really like about it is that it's not just us telling our story. They audit to verify every component that is being evaluated. We have to have the evidence. They engage with the various stakeholders that are involved, but they also look at the roles of our employees. They also look at the roles of the leaders and the roles of the people and culture function, which means they look at how the whole organization actually operates around building and sustaining an environment that is conducive for our people, but also the practices. So you can't just say you do something and end up with an award unless you have the evidence, and they look at the consistency as well. So that audit, it means a lot for me.
How will you integrate this achievement in your people practice, your people strategy going forward for 2023 to 2024?
The awards are based on evaluation of certain categories in the culture, employment practices and policies. And when one looks at our business strategy, those are some of the areas that we use as levers to create the right environment for our colleagues. But also, as we improve, the outcomes become better in terms of how do we attract people, how do we retain the people, and also the improvements are evidenced in the integration, and to show that what the left is doing, the right knows, from the employee, the HR colleagues, as well as the leaders. So we literally integrate that in how we make decisions as well around people. And simple example is around how we manage talent, things around mobility. We need to know our people, and we need to, with the understanding of the critical capabilities we need to build, understand the areas that we need to develop with our people and find ways to engage and connect with them. You can only do that if you're integrating your practices.
Did you adapt your reward system with your employees as the time goes on? And I'm basing this on the idea that hybrid work model is starting to sort of fade away, or is that still quite large within your organization?
We actually focus on flexible work, and it's working well. But one of the things we do is our leaders are empowered to actually work with their teams right where they are in the business, because the businesses are different, but we understand that in the context of the business, there will be some areas where people maybe come a day or two, or others are just working mostly from home, but it must be within context. And it's working well because the leaders are working with their teams. And then on the other hand, you asked about the reward system. One of our priorities is fair and responsible pay. And we have been focusing on that in the context of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's very important for us that we pay well for, equal pay for work of equal value. And when we do that, we consider our practices, our principles around reward, and we differentiate based on performance. It's very important that we recognize and we reward the people for their contribution, and people must really feel valued. But in addition to that, we have other elements of our total reward system, which also help us not just to retain, but to drive the right behavior. It's important that we look at how we deliver as a business in the short, medium, and the long term. And we can only do that really if we appreciate, we value, and we recognize our employees accordingly.
Jeanette, thank you very much for coming to studio and joining us and explain to us what is it Absa is doing that got you that second consecutive achievement. Thank you very much. That was Jeanette Modise, Absa Group's Chief People Officer. And that's it for this episode. Until next time, goodbye.